Thanks for joining us, Cav. I suppose there's only one place to start at the moment. The fact that your team's now won 7 games on the bounce. As a group of staff and players, you must be delighted with that.
Yeah, they've done really well. They've done well all season, really. We've been quite a young group with a small group, if you like. But overall, they've been pretty consistent. Obviously, it's been good because obviously Dave's come up with me as well now. And a lot of the players, obviously, he had last year as well. So a lot of them have come up from the 18s from last year. And to be fair, there's a lot of good work done with them last year. They did well in the league last year, and they've carried it on.
What would you put this run of form down to?
Hard work, I think. They've got good work ethic, the boys. As I say, it's been quite a small group this year. We've struggled for players, but that in a way has helped us, if that makes sense, because they've been quite a tight knit group. Even small training numbers have been small. So that's helped us a little bit, I think. But their work ethic's been great.
When you look at the run, you perhaps conceded first in games or the opposition have equalised. What does that tell you about the spirit within the team to have come back fighting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've got a good group that if you like, dig in, and they've got look after each other. Don't know when they're beaten. They've got a good mentality amongst them, which has put them in good stead, really. Last year, as I say, they did well in the league last year. And to be fair, even though they're young this year, they've been very competitive. We always felt we had a competitive group this year, but they've surprised a few people now. Well, they've done it. I thought this might come next season, but obviously this season they've done brilliant.
Since you're really enjoying coaching this group of players?
Yeah, they've been good. I've been very fortunate the last few years, and I've had some, good individuals that have come through. In the Lindens and Campbells and Nathan Collins and people like that. So it's been a bit different, really. This group of they're quite good. They're a good team, if that makes sense. Where before we've had good individuals. I'm not saying the teams weren't so good, because if you look at last year, we'd have been in the playoffs last year if the season would have panned out. I think we finished, it was 4th. I think we were 4th. So I think we would have got in the playoffs last year as well. And with last year's group as well, I felt we would have got promoted. So this year they've kicked on from that. A lot of them had experience last year, even from being in the team, but they've kicked on this year, and hopefully they can go one further and hopefully get in the playoffs and maybe get promoted with a bit of luck.
You've alluded to the fact that obviously you've been a coach here now a number of years. Where does this team rank in that sense? I mean, does it rank up there with the team that got to the semi-finals of the Youth Cup?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good group of players. As you said, that group that got to the FA Youth Cup, there was a lot of good individuals in that. If you could say that, there are a lot of players who could win a game on their own. Where I think this group's a bit more of a team ethic, if that makes sense. I'm not saying we haven't got any outstanding individuals, but as a team, they're quite strong.
Made a couple of signings in January: DiMaggio, Wright Phillips, and Will Goodwin. How have those 2 players settled in?
They've settled in really well, to be fair. DiMaggio, to be fair, his goal ratio and his assists have been really good. I'm not sure. I think he might have 3 goals in 5-6 games, probably 3 or 4 assists as well. He's done well. He's fitted in really well. Will's a bit different. Will's, we feel he's done well, but we feel he's more of a player in a progress, if that makes sense. I don't think you're really going to see the best of him till next year. He's come from, he's not been in an academy before. He's come from non-league football, where DiMaggio obviously has been at a top club like Man City. So technically, tactically, he's got a good understanding of the game. Where Will, you're trying to learn him that. He's learning every day. But we've been pleased with him so far. He's got a good work ethic. He's fitted in, but they both have fitted in the group really well, I'll be honest. So hopefully they kick on.
You've been stretched in terms of personnel of late, with obviously players stepping up to the first team. So how pleased have you been with the likes of Gabriel Adibambo, Ibrahim Asai and Douglas Taylor who've stepped up? Yeah,
they've been good. Gabriel, a bit similar to Will, really, coming from non-league in Ireland. Felt it took him a bit of time to settle in. I'll be honest, just to adjust to the pace of the training, the intensity of the games. But you're starting to starting to see that now. You know, the quality's come in, and he's been good, especially the last month or so. He's really kicked on. Douglas we signed him from Salford at the beginning of the season. Same, he's been playing, as you say, category 3, really, academy football. He's had a couple of quite serious injuries where he was out quite a long time with hamstrings. So he's just really finding his feet now. I think he's a bit similar to Will as well. I think you might see more of him next year. His goal scoring record's really good. You know, he scored goals, you know. He's got other things part of his game that he needs to improve, but his goal scoring record's been very good. As you say, he'd be sidestepped up from the 18s. He's done well. It's just last few games he's played more. He had 90 minutes against Villa, come on at Reading, come on against Fulham. So, you know, he's done quite well as well.
Obviously, the aim of the 23s is to feed players into the first team, and we've seen quite a number this season involved with the senior squad. How pleased have you been as an academy to see that happen?
Yeah, it's been great, you know, and to be fair, we've got to give the first team staff some recognition for that, really. You know, Rory, Billy, the gaffer, a lot of the boys have been over there training. All you can do is give them an opportunity. You know, if you can give them opportunities to go over and train, then it's up to them. Some have took the opportunities, some quite haven't took them yet, but they've all had them. That's all you can ask for, and hopefully, you know, it's okay getting over there, but it's staying over there. That's the hard thing. You know, like if you look at Nathan, if you look at Tyrese, even Tom Edwards. You know, Tom Edwards has played a lot of games, but obviously he's put himself out on loan. So for me, you can have the opportunities, but it's sustaining your performance, getting that consistency in your performance, being able to be kept over there and trusted. And sometimes that takes time, but they've been really supportive and give the players the opportunity to prove themselves, really, in training as well. You know, that's the biggest thing, going over there training every day and having to step up to the intensity of training with the first team boys. That's the real challenge of being able to do it day in and day out. And that's where you see your better players or your top players come into the fore.
What's the manager and his coaching staff been like in that respect? Are they in regular contact with you about the players stepping up?
Yeah, there's regular dialogue between us all, really. Most days, you know, we speak. Gaz has meetings with the gaffer as well, you know, about the overall of the academy, what's coming through, what's not coming through. So I take a real keen interest in what we're doing. So it's been great. You know, as I say, you know, the opportunities the boys have had this year, you know, there's been a lot of boys up there at certain points, and overall they've done well. You're always looking for your next batch. That's the thing with this, you know. You can't rest on your laurels. You know, Colo and Tyrese, and I know Josh didn't really come through our system, Josh Tolman, but he spent a lot of time with us over the last couple of years, you know, back down. And so it's been good to see their progress. Joe Burzek. So we're looking at the next batch now. I know that batch hopefully have pushed on. Now, can you look for the next batch? Where's the next batch coming from? You know, even this group of players we've got now have done so well up to now. You know, we're looking below that now. Where's the next one's coming from? I think that's the way you've got to be, if that makes sense. If we can get it to some sort of conveyor belt, don't get me wrong, you're never going to get, if you like, 5 or 6 players coming through every year. That, you know, it's impossible. But you know, if you can get one or two, then you know you're going in the right direction. You know.
Manager's spoken that for some of the players, it might benefit them if they go out on loan. Is that something that you feel could be the case?
Yeah, 100%. We have sent boys out this year, and it's done them really well. You know, Connor Taylor's been out a couple of times, and the difference in him, you know, he's had a good season, the kid, you know, and coming back from the loans, that's definitely helped him. Eddie Jones went out to Telford and come back, you know, in a real good shape, real good form. Been in around the first team, as you say, just got his first cap for the Wales under 21s. So yeah, we're all for that, really, and at times it can affect your results and your performances as a team. But you know, you've got to look past that, you know, and think about, at the end of the day, we're trying to give these boys a career. You know, it's great to win, it's great to get promotion, but that's not the be all and end all. You know, that's just a little bit of a carrot on the cake. Our job really is to try and get these boys careers. And if that makes your team suffer result-wise, then that's fair enough. You know, if you're getting individuals coming through or getting out on loans or getting careers in football, that's the main thing, really.
I suppose you only have to look at the likes of Joe Burzek, Harry Suter and Tyrese Campbell to see the benefits of a loan.
100%. You know, Harry, you know, I spent a lot of time watching Harry when he was at Fleetwood, and You know, we had a couple of good loans there, and as you say, come back a different player. You know, sometimes, you know, having to play week in, week in and out and deal with the pressures of league football, it's great. You know, it's a hard domain to be in. You know, and it makes them grow up quick. And if they get a good one, it's so positive. You know, you know, their careers can kick on.
When you look at the fact that obviously quite a few players have performed well for your team this season and trained with the first team, and in recent weeks we've seen the three lads make their debuts at under 21 levels for the national team. Do you feel that'll help in terms of getting better loans, so to speak, next season for them?
Yeah, 100%. You know, if you look at Christian, you know, he's made his first team debut. You know, he's playing regularly now. Wells under 21s in and around the first team. You know, he's going to get him loans. Same as Ethan, same as Eddie. You know, Connor Taylor's played at a good level now, men's football. So hopefully, you know, next season, you know, we're looking, can he get another good loan? You know, so all these players really, you know, if we, no, it's just managed because the squad's quite small. We need to try and manage the workload of them. So maybe 3 or 4 go out, the rest stay, and then maybe Christmas some come back and some go out. That would be the ideal route for them, but it doesn't always work out that way. But that would be the way we'd like to do it. But you know, sometimes loans come along out the blue. You know, as you say with Connor, you know, you get a phone call and something decent comes. You've got to let these kids go. You know, it's about their development really, rather than, as I said before, you know, it's great to get results, but we're trying to get these boys a career, and you know, whether it's at Stoke or whether it's elsewhere, you know.
Before next season, obviously you've got 5 regular games left in PL2 this season. The target must be to win as many of those as possible and hopefully get at least a playoff place.
Yeah, that would be you know, fantastic. You know, but you know, if I look at the bigger picture over the season, as you say, look at the debuts we've had and the boys who've been up around the first team, you know, that would be promotion. You know, that what we've done this season. But if we can get that, you know, because winning is a development as well. You know, you've got to get that winning mentality into the boys. You know, and if we can get promotion and continue this run of undefeated games, you know, it's going to stand them in good stead for the future.
I mean, got so close last season before it was curtailed.
Yeah.
Do you sense there's that steely determination within the squad to not let it slip?
Yeah, I think we were really disappointed last year. You know, when the season come to a halt, if you like, because we were in a really good position. You know, and there were West Ham and Man United that were out in front a bit, but we felt that, you know, we played them twice last year, and in all the games they were really close. We felt we had a right chance getting promotion last year. So when it finished, we were really disappointed. So, you know, and to continue that form on this year, how we've done, and get ourselves in a decent position would be brilliant. But as you know, it's been a funny league this year because a lot of teams with the COVID, a lot of teams have kept players. They've not really loaned players out, and then there's been a lot of first team players playing different 23s games, which has been good. Been great for me because it's been a bit more like the old reserve league at certain times. You know, come up against senior pros quite often this year, which has been good. You know, and we had it earlier in the season as well, where we had a couple of senior pros playing for us, which for me is great for the lads. You know, we can be coaches, we can give them as much advice as we can. But I can remember when I was coming through, you know, you learn so much of playing with senior lads, senior pros. You know, the little tips they give you, a little positional play they give you when you're out on the pitch. So no, it's been a good league this year. It's been quite strong, and it's been strong for different reasons, if that makes sense.